There we go. Hello, Decluttering Club. Welcome to you all. It is so good to be here with you. Today, we have a special treat. Today, I'm talking to my amazing friend and decluttering coach and professional organizer, Joanne Reeder. And she's going to talk to us today about the first 3 steps that you need to do to declutter your stash and dash room. Oh my gosh, this is so good. I'm so excited about this because I know so many of you have a stash and dash room. In fact, I would love to hear if you have a stash and dash room. If you are catching us on the replay, do hashtag replay. But first of all, welcome, Joanne. It's so good to be here with you.
Well, thank you, Sarah, and thank you for the warm welcome. And I'm excited to be here and with all your viewers.
Awesome. Okay, great. So I'm just going to make sure that our sound is good. If you are watching us live, if you can just let us know, sound, video, all good. Drop me a comment here. Okay, we already have people on. Fantastic. All right, so let us know before we get into this, and Joanne has some amazing tips for us. Let us know, do you have a stash and dash room, or maybe you call it a catch-all room, or maybe as one of our other members used to say, the basement of doom. Do you have a stash and dash room? Let us know in the comments. Just tell us, is that working out for you? Do you have that? And is this applicable to you? I want to know in the comments. All right, we have Linda on. Sharon says, I have more than one of those. Aaron is here. Thank you, Aaron. Sound and video is good. Excellent. Okay. Great. Okay. So, Joanne, before we get into that, can you give us a little bit of background? Because you're unique. Because not only are you a decluttering coach, right, which we love, but you're also a professional organizer. So just tell us, where you're from, give us that whole spiel.
Okay, well, my whole decluttering journey actually started in February of 2002. Okay. So that was 20 years. I've just had my anniversary, of being on my decluttering journey, which meant I started decluttering items in my home more than I was bringing them in. And I needed to start this because we were in our beautiful brand new home of 5 years, and it was starting to look really bad. It was hard to clean. It was embarrassing for people to come over. And just on a wing and a prayer, leap of faith, I decided February 1st, 2002, that for 15 minutes a day, I will declutter. And I had no idea why this would help getting rid of stuff that I bought. That sounded pretty crazy to me. I knew I needed a new carpet. We needed to paint the walls to make the house look better. We needed to buy better lamps. So I did that by the end of that month, and I did do it. The 15 minutes a day, I kept it up. I saw such an improvement in my home. My entire house looked better. And I hadn't even done any deep cleaning, which was another thing that I thought, I thought I needed to hire a team of cleaners in here before it looked good. So it took me a year and a half of baby steps of going through my entire house. Well, after that, this is way before Facebook. We used to have MSN groups. I found a little MSN group. We were basically decluttering nerds, all having fun, checking in, telling our stories. And from there, it progressed to I was helping friends and family because I loved it so much. And just like a little hobby business, 2015, I did start my own home organizing business here in Southern Ontario, Canada. And of course, that was going great. 5 years later, we have March 2020, can't go into anyone else's homes. And this is how was getting me into the declutter coaching, because at that time, like many other people, went, okay, I'm home for a couple months. I'm just going to go through every room in my home. And for me, this should be easy because I do this for a living. I'm trained. No motivation. I couldn't do it. It was, and then the failure feelings. Well, then I saw, I think it was June 2020, your Facebook ad for the Organize Like a Boss challenge. I didn't tell any of my friends because I was embarrassed that I needed help. I signed up and I started moving. And then I started staying in touch with the community. And when you were offering the Declutter Coach training, it was just a natural progression for me to be able to do this now virtually.
Absolutely. Right. Okay. So you started out decluttering, then you became a professional organizer, and then you added on the declutter coaching. So you've got that amazing marriage of both sides of the equation, which I love, right? Because there's a lot of people that are amazing at organizing, right? Like we love professional organizers, but sometimes they don't have this aspect of it, right? Like they don't understand where the clutter came from in the first place. And they think, let's just get rid of it. And we're like, no, that doesn't work. If it were that easy, we wouldn't need declutter coaches. So I love how you've got, both sides of that. That is just really, really valuable. Okay. And we have a lot of people. We have a lot of people commenting. Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. Debbie is asking, where in Ontario are you? That's a good question.
Okay, I was actually in Durham Region, Whitby for 30 years, and 1 month ago, now I am in Iroquois, Ontario.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, and there's another question. Let's see. Okay, people are saying they have lots of stash and dash rooms. Okay, so let's get into that. Now, stash and dash room, it is a room, hard to walk in, not super usable, a lot of stuff, right? A lot of volume. Now, how do we help? What do we do if we have a room like this that we really do want to turn into a space that we can use, make it functional?
Okay, so the first step that I would do as a professional organizer, if I was going to go into your home, I would do a consultation with you.
Okay, do a consultation.
A consultation. And it's just a list of questions, which are very effective, very powerful. And when you answer them and you complete these before you start any project, because myself, I'm a member of the Professional Organizers of Canada. We work on teams for big jobs. We don't start anything without a consultation and have certain questions asked because we want a path to success.
Okay.
We don't even need to look at the room first and see what the stuff is. Like that's secondary. So number one question is why? Let's start with why. Why do you want this room decluttered? Now, maybe it's just been a storage area treated like that or whatnot. It's not functional. It's just doing too much right now. You want your grandchildren to be able to have a room to sleep over. Maybe you want a peaceful craft room or sewing room instead of little bits all over. Or maybe you just want to turn it into a functional storage space so you can find your seasonal items, the extra cookware when you need it. So that's starting with the why. What do you wish this room to function as? Maybe you need it for two purposes, home office and crafting, or maybe throw in guest bedroom, but just this is what I want. So that is step one.
Okay, so hang on. I love that because, when you said you do a consultation, I was like, oh, that sounds hard, right? That sounds really formal, but you're just saying you just go through some questions and people can do this. They can kind of ask themselves the questions. They can put themselves through that process and it could be really simple.
Yes, and without paying for a professional organizer, so starting with that. Okay, and now, let's move on to the second question in the consultation is when will you work on this and for how long? We've got to set a schedule. If you were to hire a professional organizer, we'd have the calendars out there. We'd be making the dates. And we certainly wouldn't want to be missing them. And then we take a bunch of other factors in too. If it's a project like Stash Room, Dash Room didn't happen overnight. And if you don't have a TV crew in there to fix it, it's going to take a while. So maybe it's a month or 2 months, like it might be every second Saturday is only when you have time. You might have 15 minutes every day, Monday to Friday, not on the weekend. And when you're scheduling your work, also think of add in, and this is what I do as a professional organizer. If I'm in your home, I'll say, okay, so I'm working in this stash and dash room, which is on the lower level. If you have children, is there nap time upstairs? So I can't do it between 1 and 2. I would have to work in another room. Is there a family birthday happening? Are you going to have guests coming over? Because guess what? That weekend, when you're working on your stash and dash, you might have a messy middle and they come over. You're going to throw everything back in there, which is going to be working against you and cause overwhelm. So you want to plan, hey, if there's a weekend of company, we're not going to work on this.
That's so good, right? Because I think so often, if you looking at doing a project, you're like, I'll just fit it in. Or, yeah, I can do this every day from 8 to 9 p.m. Really? Are you sure?
Yeah.
And so just before you dig in, before you start emptying boxes and throwing stuff out the door, like just take a minute and decide, when are you going to do it? And are you sure that that's going to work? Right? Like if you were scheduling someone to come in, you would absolutely do that. So to do that for yourself can be super powerful and effective. So I love that.
Okay.
I had no idea you were going to say this. Like this is, we didn't go over this beforehand, everyone. So this is like,
No.
I love this process. This is really, really cool. Okay.
Okay. So when, and decide, do you have physical, disabilities, or, you tire easily? Okay.
Right.
So how long can I can't work on it for 3 hours at a stretch.
Mm.
Maybe I can do it for 15 minutes twice a day. That's going to build up, or even only 15 minutes every 3 days, and then it's an hour. Work on it and decide, give yourself an end date, because it might be really easy. Sometimes we have a family function coming up that, okay, in 2 months, I'm having family come over. I need this room to be done. But if you don't have that tight deadline, it's easy to put it away. So write your goal date in there. Is it end of June? I want to be done with all this decluttering. So in the hot months of July and August, I can just enjoy my sewing, or I can enjoy my grandkids, and I'm done decluttering that room.
Nice. Yeah. Working backward from that deadline is good. I think without deadlines, it's a lot harder to keep going. Right.
Yeah, to keep motivated. And that's all of us. That's all of us. Even me as a professional, if I'm being paid to do a job, I'm motivated. I'm on a tight schedule. I finish and I start at the times that are on our schedule that we decided on.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And then also, another question is support. So who can help you with this project? If you hire a professional organizer, okay, so you have hired help in, but do you have family members that can help you? Do you have friends that can help you? And, is it physical, or maybe you just need a girlfriend that you can call 10 minutes and just say, okay, I just had a rotten day in that room. It looks worse than it is. I just need some mental support.
Right.
Because this is a hard, lonely journey. It pays off, and you're going to love it when it's done, but it's not fun to start. And I'm sure it's not fun when you're looking at that room either. Most people I know stash and dash room. The door is shut. Company never sees it. I've had my own. I've had the basement of doom too, which is like, ooh, what if a plumber has to go down there, or electrician, right. That. Oh my God. So
absolutely. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So then what's the second step? Let's go to number two.
Okay. Number two is we're going to get started in the room.
Get started. Okay. Now we've got our plan. Time to get busy.
And pro tip, take your before pictures.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And the obvious reason is it's great. We can track our progress, and we can see how beautiful it looked, and what our great job is. Most of us do not want to share this on Facebook or internet, not the before. So you don't have to. But the before is also a really good tool for you that us organizers would use. So I go in, I take the before pictures. And lots of time, I'll figure out my first steps of the job outside of the room. And for you, if we're in this stash and dash room with everything, it can be kind of overwhelming. We're not really working quickly. So the idea is, the first step is you want to get rid of the quick, easy things. So scan the room if you're in it, or enlarge your phone and just scan there, because that's easy. You're not even looking, you're just on the phone. What are the items, the fluff clutter that can go right away? Maybe it's just like a old beach ball that's there. That's something that's on top. Items that there's no way I'm keeping this. Like, you don't even have to take a second for that decision. The quick, easy decisions. We want to go for the low-hanging fruit on our first step. We're trying to make as much room in there because we're going to be making decisions on other items.
Okay, so easy things first, fluffy clutter.
Mhm.
Maybe it's, it's the beach ball, it's the hangers, right? Hangers take up so much room and, but like there's nothing to them. They're
Yeah.
just taking up space. So those can go out the door.
Yeah, recycling and trash. That is something that as a professional organizer, when I go into somebody's home, generally, me and my team, we can spend 2 to 3 hours just taking out trash and recycling.
Right. So if you can do that in advance, then it's just like, why spend your precious time with an organizer, with the coach, just doing that if you can do it on your own?
Yes. Yep. The trash, the recycling, that can go. And this is not the time to start opening up boxes or totes or going through anything emotional. So, step number 2, let's get it quick and easy and let's get it out the door. And as a professional organizer, it does not stay on that property overnight.
Okay. Oh, tell me more about this.
Big one. It goes into one of our vehicles and it leaves. Now, why? There's a couple reasons for that. First of all, you've already made the decision that this is going to go. And then in the back of your mind, if it's sitting in your garage, you or maybe half of your family members are going to go back in there and pull it.
You're going to rescue something.
Yes. And, then that's a good thing to have a plan of attack for too. So where are the donates going to the trash? If someone's going to come pick it up, have them pick it up immediately, not in 6 months from now.
I love it. So important, really so important, especially for the easy stuff, right? And also for the other stuff, but absolutely, like it's so important to not let that slide, right? Because it's easy. Oh, we're done. It's it's out of the room. No, we're not done. We're not done yet.
Yeah, if you can't now walk to the front door because it's there. So this, something else that you want to plan now, where's this going to go? And then we can move on to step 3, which is, so the room's going to look better. Take another picture. It will look different. And this is where we're going to work on the larger, bulky items, the items that take up a lot of space or they just store awkwardly, like big tools, big toys. Sporting equipment is one. Furniture. Yeah. Now, if the room is absolutely packed and there's furniture at the far back wall, don't make your way through that yet, but work on what you can directly around you. And also, take note, this is going, your second before pictures, because you've done the first one, the second one's when you're looking at it, you can see, okay, well, maybe in about a week, I'm going to be in that corner. And that's when those big items can go. We're not going to keep them. So this is working the first, the step 2 and 3 is nothing emotional.
Okay.
Quick, easy decisions.
Yeah. Not those stuff that we're like, oh, like if you want to cry, then it needs to wait, right? If this item makes you, pulls at your heartstrings, that happens later. Okay. I love it.
Yeah. And that will come, but let's make as much progress as we can right now.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So you have 7 steps to doing this because we're not done yet. We've just gotten started, right? We didn't have time to go into all of them today. And we really want you, maybe this is me being a marketer, we want you to go and sign up and request Joanne. Joanne has a printable that goes through all the 7 steps, right? So and I forgot to tell you all at the beginning, we there's a link above this video and I'm going to go and grab it and drop it in the comments as well. If I can do that, is that going to cooperate with me? No, it's not. We will drop it in the comments after the fact, where you can go and request all 7 steps written out on Joanne's website. So when you click this link, it's going to take you to Joanne's website. There's a form you can fill out with your name and email address. Is that right?
Yep. Name and email address.
Okay. And you'll send the PDF to people who request that. Is that right?
That's right. Yep. So we will receive the top 7 tips with the full consultation questions. So you could ask yourself that.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. I think that's so important. It's, like they seem obvious when you go through them, but they're not obvious if you're not a professional, if you've never thought about like doing a consult with yourself. So I love that you included that in there. That is fantastic. Okay, so, but you do this with people. Like a lot of people are going to do this on their own. They're going to be great. It's going to be awesome. But lots of people are going to want extra help. They're going to want someone to hold their hand. They're going to want someone to walk them through this. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Okay. So with virtual declutter coaching, what I do with that is the same thing. We have our consultation. We talk about the space. We have pictures. We set up a schedule. We set up a time. We talk about places where you're going to donate. You know, and here's another thing about your schedule. Maybe it's best when you do it when you're home alone. Right. So that's different times. And now with the clutter coaching, when I have clients, how we generally do it is we'll do a consultation on Zoom. And for larger projects, I've had, 30 days or 60-day clients where we have our own private Facebook group, just me and the client. They work on their spaces. We've already set it up before. We've got 30 days, space one. This is what we're doing each day. Maybe a couple days off. This is already set up. And then it's in the Facebook group. They can post their progress. I can help them work through it with changes. They can ask me any questions. And then we do have a Zoom meeting for 30 minutes every week, which is looking at our wins and looking at our obstacles, because obstacles are going to come, right? It's, what do I do now? And it's like, hey, I've got probably about 15 different solutions for you that I've used in the past. And let's see which one works with your circumstance, your home, your family.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And do you find that people, you've worked in person with people in their homes, and then you also work on Zoom. Do you find that that some people prefer the Zoom and, like the Facebook and things like that, where you're not actually like coming into their house?
Absolutely. Because there is a lot of people who are too ashamed to have anyone go into their home. Yeah. As when I was working in Durham region, there was over the 5 years, a few times that I went, knocked on the door, rang the doorbell for the consultation. Nobody was home. And then I get a text or an email, and it was the poor lady sat and hid in her bedroom crying, or in the kitchen. She thought she could allow somebody in. Now, this was before I had started with the virtual coaching.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people they just can't bear it. And they just freak out and they have to cancel. So I love that you can still help them, but there's a little bit like you have an element of privacy. I think that's so helpful. So important.
And that's privacy, absolute privacy, no judgments. And for some people, like as an organizer, it's minimum 3 hours that I will go into a home, if not longer. Maybe with your time constraints, or maybe it's financial, or just your physical capability that you can only do half an hour a day, even with someone beside you helping.
So that's another reason that this could be a really nice option, like alternative.
Yes. And now one thing I have found, though, because I did have a client I had worked with for a couple years, young family, so they're always growing. So it keeps changing in her home. And then when the pandemic hit, she wanted to keep decluttering. So this is where we came up with a 30-day plan for her. And the bonus is when I could finally go back in her home, I did go in once afterwards to help her, because she had been doing the work herself. On her own for those 30 days, she just basically pointed at me and told me where to go and what to do and how she wanted things. And I was like, her ideas, it's her home. I was used to giving her, different solutions. And when we were done, I said, okay, you didn't really need me. Like, you had your own ideas and you did everything.
So you just supported her then. And now she has those skills. That's amazing.
She has those wings. We do touch base, like right after Christmas. After Christmas, everybody needs help putting Christmas away. And there was new stuff that came in. So we have a quick Zoom call. But it's, generally, I'm working myself out of a job. And that's my job, is to give everybody the wings to do their own and to enjoy all the benefits and freedom that come with a decluttered home.
So true. So true. Okay. This is amazing. make sure you all click through. Joanne, tell us, where can we find you? Tell us your website, your Facebook page.
Okay, so my website is home free homeorganizing.square.site. I'm on there, and I'm also on Facebook, Home Free Home Organizing, and also for the first 5 signups, if I can mention that, that sign up for the 7 tips PDF, you will receive a complimentary decluttering coaching call of 20 minutes.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so don't wait around, y'all. You want to get it and be one of the first 5, and you can talk to Joanne. Love it. That's so fun. All right, and I apologize that I don't have the links. They're above the video. I will drop them into the comments afterward. If you can't find them, just leave a comment and I will reply to your comment, and we'll make sure that you get the links and you can find Joanne. Joanne, amazing, amazing. We have so many comments here. Let's see if we can answer a couple of questions. People are asking, is this recorded? Yes, 100%. You can always come back and watch it. Let's see. Lisa says, thank you so much, Joanne. I have 2 stash and dash rooms. Yeah, lots of amazing, amazing comments. Claire says, looking forward to reading more details. All right, fantastic. Well, I know you're going to get a whole bunch of people coming through, so we're super excited about that. Thank you for being here. I think this is such an important topic. You know, people are not, this doesn't come up in polite conversation, right? It's not, you don't say this to your best friend, you know, like, oh, you know, I have this awful room that makes me want to cry. Like that, it's not coming up. So I think we need to be talking about these things because it doesn't have to be that way. You know, there is a solution.
There's lots of solutions, and we can do this. Yeah, we can say bye-bye stash and dash room.
Yeah.
And that's going to feel great.
Yes. I love it. All right. Thank you so much for being here. This was amazing. I appreciate you. And I know everyone has really enjoyed this call.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me, Sarah. Okay. And good luck, everybody, with your stash and dash rooms. I know you can do it.
Absolutely. Let us know how it goes, everyone. All right. We want to hear. All right, everyone. Take care.